Hey everybody, my name is Hakeim. I am, I guess, Chief Operations Officer here at Avocadata now, and along with Brian, our fearless founder and CEO, we are bringing back the AMA now that we've had our head down and made some real progress. We're going to get into a whole bunch of great stuff, and we've been really clicking along, adding a lot to the platform and the product suite. I do want to remind everybody that in addition to everything that we have here, we have some really cool premium products, some real high level timeshare exit stuff, some real high level automotive stuff, some amazing live transfer stuff. I literally went through with them yesterday actual live transfers that they do. See here for myself. So what I can tell you is it is an incredible premium product. If you don't want to have to mine data and you just want to buy traffic, definitely stay plugged in and hit us up, and we will also be able to facilitate that because Avocadata is the #1 place on the web to buy and sell data. So with that, I'm going to shut up and pass it off to Brian and let him get into it.
Yeah, hey everybody. So today we're going to dive right into the agency white label. We added in the data store that's now fully functional, and anyone can create their own store. And with your own store, you can create and sell retail products. So I'm going to start off by, for the first time, actually building and cleaning up our store. So on your $4.99 plan, every single account is able to create their own version of Avocadata. So for instance, this is one right here. And to do this, you would need to set up on your domain and go to your DNS on your host, whether that's Blue Sky or Hostinger or GoDaddy, Cloudflare. You would be able to connect this and turn that on. I also want to spend some time going through some other white labels just to give you guys some idea of what has been set up so far from other people. Everyone that has a white label comes in and does something a little bit differently. Now, this is the standard white label page that you can make. You can also make custom website pages in the agency that you can rank with our SEO engine. And you can customize it how you want. So this person specifically is more for insurance, where they are targeting insurance agents to sign up for their agency and pay them directly for different amounts of leads. So this guy specifically is selling 1,000 leads for $200, and he's doing it by month. And then you can see over here, 5,000, he gets more of a discount that he offers, and that's now $600. So he's reselling that through Avocadata. So we price this way. We price $0. That will never charge you. You get 3 leads every single day. And I encourage everyone who's stuck with a white label to offer that plan. And second, we offer a $149 plan where users are able to download 10,000 leads a month. And you can see we offer a middle plan, which a lot of people go for. And then this is the white label plan. Now, you get 250,000 leads a month on your white label plan. And then you can resell them for any price that you particularly would like to. And there are some white labels that are just dedicated for solar and for AI homeowners. So this one in particular is just going for homeowners for the most part. And this individual runs a Go High Level account. So they offer their leads and their data that they get through Avocadata to their Go High Level users at no extra cost, because they are upselling them with the email, they're upselling them with the phone numbers, they're upselling them with the custom website help and all of that. So all of this, everyone has come up with different ideas that seem to be working in different ways. Another big one is people with AI call centers, where they tend to be offering the data for free, and then they're just selling the price per call or the price per minute with their AI agents. All of these over and over again you've seen have been similar layouts. You don't have to use this layout. If you are skilled with AI and some basic coding, you're able to go to the website customization and, oh, I apologize. You're able to go to the custom website pages. And from the custom website pages, you are able to create any website page from scratch. So just as an example, it's all CSS, HTML basic, but it's not that difficult now with Claude or with Gemini, and you can just type in what you want, tell Claude or Gemini, make it look pretty like a professional website, and paste it right on in here. We use these pages a lot, mostly for ads. So if we want to make a separate promotion, we're able to, right here, for instance, webinar invite, like the page that you're in right here. So the actual link that you want to look up on these URLs is as follows. So if you set up a page on your white label, it would be your domain /page / the URL slug that you use. So in this instance, white label, or I'm sorry, webinar invite. So once all that's done and you have the website you want, you're able to go over to your data store white label. This is the second domain that you turn on. And this is the, for lack of a better term, the supermarket retail store that your users get to enter. So when your user gets to your dashboard on your white label, and if you have that button, that domain turned on, this unlock database, every single white label, will bring you to your custom data store. And your custom data store will allow you to get paid directly from people who do not currently have an account with you, and they can get the leads that you pre-built for them. So we're going to make this more attractive. Once we get all this turned on, you can then proceed over to Marketplace and Data Store. So right within here, you have the products that we were able to see within the store itself. So Hakeim, do you have an idea of a product I can make for this instance right now? While you're thinking of that, I'm going to an audience of people who are homeowners in the state of Florida. And why do I want to do that? Because clients don't always like to filter and find things out for themselves. So we can get started by going to create data store, and you can name the data store and select a category. If the category doesn't exist, you would have to make it. So right now we have real estate. I'll go and select that. And I don't have a subcategory that I want. So before I continue, I'm going to create add subcategory and select real estate. And then I'll select buyers as the subcategory, and I'll create it myself. So now that that's done, I'm going to go back, create data store, and I'm going to call it Florida home buyers. And why am I calling it Florida home buyers? Well, I have thousands of databases, and this is where your business comes and actually gets created, because your user either A, can go through all of this, or you can pre-build different products and leave breadcrumbs basically for your clients. This is billions and billions and billions of rows of data across thousands of different lead intent database tables. It gets very overwhelming very quickly, even for me. As you can see, I'm scrolling slowly and talking slowly while I'm trying to find what I'm looking for. So what best practice is to pre-do some of these things for the user that
Hey, Brian.
you have.
Hey, Brian, this is Rajesh. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm actually just seeing your that data store pop-up dialog, right? Maybe not the list that you're showing.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah, no, I just see this pop-up. I think you, as you were talking, you were saying you were showing a list, right?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't always show. Yeah, so you didn't see the list, but you see the sell my home right here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's a big list that doesn't show because I'm sharing the tab. But
Okay, that's fine.
so within here, now we can break down the database. So I'm actually going to find a different one real quick. Roofing, home insurance. We'll use this one. So your user would have to go through all these filters, which means either A, they have to study it and learn it themselves, B, you have to teach them, or C, they're going to struggle, not figure it out, and get mad at you and blame you for having a bad system. So the alternative thing to do is let's go pre-filter some things. So if people are looking to buy a home, do we want them to be a homeowner? Yes or no? Some people want yes, some people want no. Maybe you as the data store owner know, well, statistically, people who own a home looking to buy a home tend to be better candidates with this type of data. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying those are the decisions you would make for your user to slim down a very complicated list of data for them to do their prospecting with. So for now, I'll just say yes. And there are different income ranges and net worth ranges. So if you are someone trying to sell or buy a home, maybe you want to exclude the people less than $20,000 of income from the audience and just preset at $250,000. And maybe you want your user to have a cell phone list. Instead of relying on them to remember to filter cell phone only, you could go off and, after going through all the switches, find the column that requires the wireless cell phone. And we can go click get count. And we found 473 people that are in that high income range with a cell phone that are homeowners within this one particular data set. So we can name this, we can add the subcategory, and we can put how many credits it costs. So to unlock all these rows, we're going to say it's 500 credits. And we can add a description. This is a list of high income earners, own a home, and have a active cell phone. And then right over here, you can add a picture. So I'll add Gemini image. Eventually, we'll just integrate something in so you can just generate the images. But this is what I do for now for each one. Yeah, Kim, we need to think about a theme for these pictures. So it doesn't look like a flea market. All right, add our picture. Oh, I can't use that type of picture. I'll use a different picture. Picture has to be under 2 megabytes. I'll go back and edit the picture after. Just want to make sure it's saved first. All right, so it's still creating on this side, 60,000. This is the product we just made. So we see there were 60,000 rows with the high income people and costs 500 credits to unlock. Let's go back and see what type of picture we can add. You can edit any of what you put in here at any time. You can't edit the filters. Once you select the filters, it's stuck. But you can edit the description and the category and all of those different things together. Trying to find a picture. You have to use a JPG file. You can't use PNG. That's why I'm having this difficulty. So you just have to make sure it's a smaller file. So if your user wanted to purchase that data, they would have to sign into your agency and have credits. And if they have credits, they can go view the product, purchase product. They just use their credits to get it. And then when your user goes to databases, data store, the list will be right here now for them to download. So they already bought the credits for it, and they don't have to reuse credits. It shows you have to reuse credits, but you don't. It would just download an email to you immediately as the CSV with the 66,000 rows. And I'll do another one. So another big one that people come for is different types of insurance, particularly life insurance. Now, there's a few different types of life insurance. One for higher income and healthy people, and then one for lower income and not healthy people. So the first one we'll do is final expense. That's a very big one. Now, final expense is burial insurance and is the lowest type of life insurance you can get, either because you're older or ill or don't have money to afford the life insurance policies that pay you $10 million if you die, unfortunately. So one big thing with the intent data, though, most people who are looking for life insurance for the first time ever don't really know a lot of that. So more often than not, they end up in the wrong pool of people. For instance, a 67-year-old who has many medical conditions is not going to qualify for an IUL policy, even with the income for himself, probably. Now, if they have other dependents and all that, then there's different things there. But the logic being is, if you end up in a database for IUL intent and you are not qualified for IUL, you qualify for final expense. You want life insurance, you can't get the one you want. This would be the fallback that you do qualify for. So we'll get started. We'll look up IUL intent. So we have a lot of different ones from different time periods and that get updated every now and then. So I'm going to go pick this one from January. And this is just a database of people who were landing on websites looking for IUL data. Not IUL data, I'm sorry. IUL health insurance policies. So if I want to turn this database into, let's say, a final expense database, first thing I would do is go to the age range. If it's there, and filter people that are over the age of 65. And just by doing that, we find 83,000 people. And if we wanted to, we could stop right here. We don't have to do state specific, only if we want to. But quite frankly, I've seen a lot of people do final expense, and this has been one of their better angles of doing it. And if you want to be a little bit more delicate, add maybe 65 and older, and they have children. So if you sell final expense, you have your selling point of now you don't have to cover the cost of burial, blah, blah, blah. And now your user, once again, doesn't have to find these 35,000 leads. You can go off and name it qualified for final expense, interested in IUL. Or you can name it page final expense. One or the other. And I'm just going to name it January 2025 because that's when this database was created. Now, 50% of people are going to wonder why someone would use data from this long ago. It works often. People are busy. People have lives. People do not take action when they have interest all the time. They have to be constantly reminded and incentivized to do such a thing. So I love aged leads. I personally think they work better unless it's live transfers, inbound calls that are someone on the phone ready to pay. Just my opinion. Now I'm going to charge the amount of credits that's equal to the amount of records available. So there's 34,092 records. So we charge 1-to-1 usually. You don't have to do this. You can calculate how much time it took you to do this and think about it and maybe upcharge because now your user doesn't have to do any of the creative filtering that takes time. You did it for them. So if you want to sell it for more because you have the ability to add value like that, this is definitely an opportunity where you could do so. I'm just you can describe it whatever you want. Consumer lead with address, phone number, landline plus cell phone, age 65 with children. I'm just going to take a random image and I'll save it into the data store, choose file. So now if I want to get back there, I'll click unlock database. And now I see age final expense February or January 2025. All of these pages get indexed on Google as well. So organically, if you're really good at creating descriptions and keywords, we're excellent with the SEO optimization. So these pages will rank and bring you in free traffic that we don't charge you for. It comes right to your website, right to your domain. And I'm going to end up changing this logo here too. But first I have to go find an Avocadata logo. So at any point, you can go back to your data store white label, choose file, and now we have our logo changed over. And this, I haven't actually thought about a background for this. It's the first time looking at it. But this data store, your users can search. So all your categories end up perfectly. So on the final expense, they just search your store, just like Shopify, and they can check out immediately. I will take feedback. So this obviously is going to go on YouTube. So if you have any comments, let me know any other external areas you would like to send the data. Where do you host your data? Are you using Google? Are you using Superbase? Are you using something that is built from your own self? Let us know, because we want to start adding ways for you to transfer data directly into your preferred systems. The other thing with the data store is you don't just have to sell data that is already existing. You can add your own data. So if you, let's say, scrape various court records because you're an expert in pre-foreclosures or tax liens, there's a place for you here. You can add a database. You can name it. Say it's tax lien February 2025. Oh, I'm saying I'm stuck in 2025. 2026, Orlando. Price per lead is the amount of credits. Okay. So why do people do this? Well, Avocadata is a giant engine of enrichment where we've built our own proprietary AI, where when you send data through enrichment, we will harvest and go through thousands of different online sources at the same time and return back to you the information that we have found about that person. Not only that, the AI that we built, McManus AI, will also compare all of the records that were found and then present the most accurate ones. In other words, there is no database. There is no solid single reference for enrichment like everyone does, and that's why you end up with so much bad information. We're going through thousands of public records. We're going through Google. We're going through, for lack of a better term, non-registered search engines, where it's just a giant directory to research. And we return you back the information that we believe is the most accurate. So once you do that and you turn on your database, you can actually now take your data that you just enriched and create data products once again for it. So you are able to take your data and enrich it, or your data, upload it, not enrich it, your choice, and sell it. You can resell any data you get through Avocadata. And over the next couple of weeks, you will be able to resell data from other white labelers. So anyone who's a white label, we're going to start bringing on to Ava Collab through Hakeim, where we can start introducing other providers to other providers, so people can start networking and reselling other types of data that we don't offer. So if you're a white label, you get exclusive access to start putting together different public offerings that we can show other white labels. So other white labels can start selling your products, whether it's data, whether it's live transfers, whether it's appointments. This is going to be the introduction to networking all of the white labels directly together. So currently there's about 250, and we keep getting more Now, when you upload a database for yourself or a user, you have a few different things you have to do. Either A, you have to attach that database that you just added to a custom plan, it'd be under here, and then you can select the ones you want to add. You can select, do you want your user to get enrichment credits to enrich the data, which you would have to pay us for enrichment using our different AI engines. For now, just leave it as no, so then we can discuss the best way that your users want to do this. You're able to select are the leads they get daily or monthly. So you get 250,000 a month. So you can give people 3 a day. You can give people 3 a month. You can give people 100 a day. It's up to you. Also, there's a second way to add the database. If you don't want to add it to a plan, you can go over to the CRM, customers, and then click on the database icon. And then you can manually assign the entire database to the user. And what that would mean is it's unfiltered. They would have to do all the filtering themselves still. And it's not a data store product. So if your user wanted to actually see that database you just gave them, they would go to the dashboard of your white label. They would go to databases and then click on custom databases. And then within custom databases, your user can further filter down any of the databases that you have assigned to them. So it's a giant funnel. Either A, they can do the filtering themselves in custom databases, or B, you can create the product for them. They can purchase it. And then instead of having to filter on this side, they can go to data stores and download it. In the next week, this entire page is going to change on data stores because you can't filter. So you'll see a different UI in this where it's just going to be click the product you bought and click export with no additional filtering. If the user wants to do additional filtering, they have to go to custom databases. Another thing is the presentation of how users find the data, just like we were discussing. So we did a data store which breaks down a product in advance and gives your user no flexibility to customize. The other ability to customize is within this classic dashboard switch. So this is what we call classic dashboard. And when you hit this, it goes into dashboard 2. So dashboard 2, we've had a lot of success with for clients on the 149 plan, because there isn't much time to handhold all the complicated filtering. So what this allows you to do is a hybrid of a data store, where the data store is now not a separate product, but a pre-filtered list that your user can see. So just like the data store, the custom list allows you to pre-filter and pre-save lists. So this is a list of homeowners that are in Arizona, and we can see in red what we changed. So I physically typed in the state of Arizona and I checked to make sure everything was a cell phone. So why did I do this? Because we had clients who were looking for homeowners in Arizona. They were having difficulty consistently, I should say, flipping the switch for the cell phone. So every couple of days we get a message, why is there no cell phone? And it's never good to tell the customer that they screwed up. That's probably the worst thing you can do. So this was a solution to say, oh, no worries, there were some problems in how you did it, but let me create an easier way for you to do this so it never happens again. So what we do, we'll create this specific product, and it ends up in as a custom list. So custom lists are in dashboard 1 located right here. So a user, if they wanted to, could just pre-click a custom list here and update what they see on the actual dashboard 1. The second alternative is you can tell your customer, okay, step 1, go to dashboard 2. Step 2, click on HO. Step 3, click on search using pre-built lists. Now we're at the same custom list selection, but in a pipeline. And we can tell our customer, just type in Arizona and wait a second. And there you go. Or you want to just name the list after your client because you want to make it easy. Hey, Anna, I know you had some difficulty. Follow these 3 steps. Type in your name, click the list, and then you can break it down by email, cell phone, or apartment without having to do all those other filters. So now the only filters they're left with are these. You'll notice there are some filters here, but not all of them. How did this happen? Within your white label agency of Avocadata, there is a page called funnel requests. This page allows you to actually control what the user can and cannot filter from the remaining data. So we don't let the user filter BAS, property range in this funnel. We remove quite a few of these things just to try to simplify things as much as possible. If the user doesn't add anything within here, then they can just click apply and it will load the list that was pre-filtered in advance that we selected. And just like before, by save list, you can select the quantity, select the email you want to send it to. Is it recurring or not recurring? And by save list, just like before. And then when you go to purchase list, you'll see it ends up right in your purchase list folder. So when it says success, it emails directly the list to the email that you selected. In this case, that's my personal email. And then if I ever wanted to re-access this list, I'm able to click on this email button and then control what columns I do or I do not want to be included. There's a lot of columns in the data. So every single database, you have the ability to control what columns actually get saved. So if you don't want all of the columns, you can select which ones you don't want or which ones you do want. Once you save the data with these selections, you cannot resave the same data and then add back these columns. That's the one caveat. So if you save it, it's saved for good. It's in purchase lists. And then you will not have access to resend any columns that were excluded. So if you want to make sure you always have all the columns and you can exclude them later on, you have to have all these selected first. But if that doesn't matter to you, then you don't have to worry about that.
Got a question.
Yeah, what's up, John? How are you?
Hey, good. Brian, tell me. I just jumped on here. I got a text. I just jumped on here like in the last 10 minutes. What have you seen in the last 30, 60, 90 days of what's working as far as customers? I know it's a big question, but like what's working for customers with your data? What's working in the sense of like, what's the best play, how to use your data?
It truly changes all the time. Like the text you just got, I actually went to send 3,000 out and go high level only let me send 400. And you guys were all opted in. And it's not even cold data. So that is a new thing a new thing that go high level just to me, for instance, which is the CRM that I send the text with. So
yeah,
I personally think calling and like combination of emails and dialing. I don't send textually anymore just because of the issue I just described. I figured give it a shot, but I do constant emailing. And then when someone ends up calling, like we call them, now there's some brand recognition. So it's easier to be like, hey, yeah, you know, the avocado you've seen, blah, blah, blah. And it clicks a little.
You know what? Can I jump in, Brian? You know what it is, man? It's the industry you know the best. You know what I mean? Like it can vary so much because it's you know, it's not just the car, it's the driver type of thing. Like, you know, you can have 10 guys take the same data and like have one guy who's just slaying it, a handful of guys who are like, yeah, I'm kind of making it work, and then like a guy who's like, I don't know, it's not working for me. Like it just depends on the industry, you know, and sort of the space you can identify that, you know, where you can really apply data as a product or a service. Then that's sort of where you're going to do best with it.
Got it. Yeah.
I
So
can,
it
I
boils
can
down to like the offer and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I get it.
I can definitely say one thing that definitely works, but you need some prereqs to actually make it work. Some contracting companies, tree removal and roofing and stuff like that, they have very vibrant colored trucks and vans. So when they have a job in an area, they'll send a text out to like the 200 homes around it saying, hey, our van's going to be in the neighborhood, take a picture, send it to us, and we'll give you X, Y, and Z free or something. It might be a Frisbee or something stupid like that. But at the end of the day, it works, and they get texts and they end up getting jobs in the same neighborhood by not texting 5,000 people, but hey, I know I have a job at this address. Let me go send this one text today. Hey, we got like an ice cream truck, go find it, basically. So if you have job sites, that's definitely a number one way I've seen people use it in the last 6 months. That's been picking up.
That's interesting that you say that. Hey, I'm on your front page and the high intent roofing leads. Can you tell me more about that?
So those were people that were in 2025 landed on different websites for roof replacement. But so you do roofing specifically?
I have roofing clients.
Okay. What areas of the country are they in?
Florida, Illinois, Wisconsin.
Okay, so there's a few different ways that is created. A, they were either looking on a website, or B, we built this tool that I'll show you real quick that allows us to use our AI to basically figure out where got the most severe storms and build a list of people from that. So this tool specifically is really good for roofing because we're able to. Have you ever heard of hail trace or anything like that?
Yeah.
It's basically basically like that. So you can see obviously stuff that's going on in real time.
This is inside the tool.
This is another product with an Avocadata that's an add-on. It's a $8.99 a month, and then you get. Hakeim has more details. I forgot what the exact amount of leads you get now, but he has all of that. But this is basically, what is a roofing lead? Well, it can either be someone who submitted a form. We don't have form submissions for roofing leads. If we did, that would be hundreds of dollars. But using different types of common sense and logic, as Hakeim was saying, your industry, areas that are best to go to. So you said Florida, and what we can do actually is go back in time. I'm going to go to my calendar, and then I'm going to go filter. We have all our history in Florida, and what I want to go to are the pictures from the last severe storms and stuff. So
these leads, they went on to they had intent to find a roofing fix, a roofing. They had some type of roofing issue. They went somewhere. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So they landed on a website, and then their email address was picked up, and it was like, okay, this guy landed on a website that can either repair or replace his roof. But then what we've noticed is when people were calling these people, they were finding repair jobs, patch jobs, and stuff like that. So it was not entirely worth it. So you can't really differentiate those people looking for full replacements or just minor repairs.
Right.
So then we ended up building this, which was like, okay, well, at least now there's more of a definitive way to say this happened. It's more likely than not they need a replacement, not just a repair.
Well, I mean, I've been around long enough to know that most people don't know. They're just like, oh yeah, can you patch that spot? No.
Exactly. And then, and then people are like, well, the leads are bad. It's like, well, let's see if there's some more tools we can use to figure some things out.
Or they suck at sales.
Yeah. Exactly. Or they
you could say it.
or
Hey, when you're done with this, Brian, there's a question from the chat. Go over the solar data next, please.
Okay. So, well, do you want to see if you want to book a time with
the calendar link is in the chat already right here.
Yeah, Jen, if you want to get on a calendar with Hakeim, you can go over more of those details.
I pinned it so anyone can book a time, and we'll get into specific solutions.
Yeah, so solar, you see, let me make sure you see the right screen. Yeah, you see it. So there's a few different angles with solar. So I can actually say these are form submissions. And these still hit very well, depending on where you are. So what states are you doing solar in? Like Minnesota, Maine, Florida. Okay, I can tell you if it's Maine, you're not going to find many in here. There's still 32,000 form submissions for Maine. So what I would say with solar is if you do solar, step one, before you pay us, go through these databases and just see.
Illinois.
Oh, well, I randomly clicked Illinois too. We have a lot of Illinois. So there's 1.3 million age form fills. These are 1 year old. But I can tell you we still have solar call centers from 3 years ago that come to us and buy this data, and they buy this data. I can also say not many people have done Illinois. Arizona, Florida, Texas, all those areas have been hit. But most of our clients have never actually touched this Illinois age form fills. So
I can't think of one, actually.
I can't think of one. And I didn't even realize that we had literally 16% of all these age leads are Illinois, which I did not know at the time. Like and that actually might be a data product we should make, Illinois age solar leads. But these are definitely the step one needs to go to. And then just like the intent data we were talking about with roofing, I would offer that as your backup option, quite frankly, because solar is popular in terms of a search word. People on their electric utility company may have clicked on an ad that said learn how to save 30% on your power, and it was a solar ad. Doesn't mean they're interested in solar. They were interested in saving money. So this is a fallback option, but if you're in Illinois, you have plenty of work ahead of you with this many that are in here right now. So